Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about a stock that may explode tomorrow and why y'all should keep it on your watch list. I'm also going to be doing an update on some stocks that I've mentioned in the past, right? And answering some of you guys' questions. For those of y'all who dropped those stocks of interest in the comment section of our last video. Now, before we begin, do not forget to annihilate the like button for the YouTube algorithm, all right? And also, don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. So let's get right into it, right off the bat. All right, so we got the NASDAQ. Going to use the NASDAQ because it is an easier chart during these conditions to make these videos on. All right, now for those of y'all who watched the last video, which I'm gonna pin it up here. That way y'all can watch it if you missed it. We talked about the PPI data, all right, which was supposed to be reported today, this morning, and I was very wrong about what could happen, but I was wrong about the number. I told y'all to watch for a for them to announce something like 0.7, maybe 0.6, something a little higher than the forecast. That way the market could gap up and then buyers could step in. But I was wrong about that. It was actually it's pretty bad. When this number is lower than that number, yes, it is. It's not supposed to be a good thing. All right, now, but I was right about the aftermath right here, right? It didn't start high. It started really low, retested that previous level of support at around 11,500, and then right there buyer stepped in and pushed the stock, and it pretty much moved along this drawing right there. I didn't touch anything. It's still on the chart. All right. So far so good. So far so good. Where is the market going to go tomorrow? I think that we climb higher. I'm not bearish at all. Not for the foreseeable. Not for the next few days at least. I think that we climb. I think that we go all the way up to $12,000 tomorrow, maybe. All right, maybe if not tomorrow, then maybe by Monday. I think I'm not bearish right now, especially after when you just look at these wicks right here, a lot of buyers, right? So just I wouldn't be surprised to see a continuation upwards. All right, so that's my thoughts on the overall market and an update on the PPI data, which was this morning. Now let's talk about the stock that is looking like it wants to explode tomorrow. That stock it's a very cheap one too. Like it's a very cheap stock. It's DWAC. All right. Now DWAC, first and foremost, it's been demolished for quite some time, right? The first thing that I've noticed, well, the second thing, the first thing is obviously it's down from 100 all the way down to 22. It dropped by 80% from the previous high. If you want to count this high, it's more like 95%, right? But if you look at the bottom, like the bottom here, the volume profile, one thing that I like to pay attention to is when people are getting interested in a specific stock, right? So when you zoom in right here, you can see that during these times, a lot of excitement. You see the volume was getting above the 10 million, 6 million, 15 million, right? It was getting up on these highs. Now, if you look at what happened throughout this entire region, this entire box, the volume has been sort of kind of low, right? Between 2 million and 5 million. Sometimes it has these periods where it tries to get to 10 million, but it drops, right? And then it goes right back down to 1 million. But if you can see right here in this region, if you zoom in closely, this is the second thing that I noticed. The second thing is if you look on here, there is a very clean, very clean, bullish pennant on the 1 hour chart. All right, it's getting started for a major move. Therefore, it is good enough for me to share this in this video. Where is this thing gonna go? I think it's gonna fly all the way up to $36. When is it going to get there? If everything works well, right? And maybe they announce magical unicorn news about something. This stock can go all the way up to $36 right here in that circle. All right. and quite quickly too. And that's also the previous that's where there's some dip buyers here who may want to get rid of their shares. You know, there is some, I would say, bag holders and dip buyers. Yes, the dip buy here, they hope for a bounce, but the bounce never shows up. They get demolished, right? And now they become bag holders. They don't want to sell down here and take a major loss, so they have to wait, and they have to wait, and they have to wait until the stock gets up to that level. And then when it gets to that level, a lot of them will use that opportunity, right, to unload those shares and pretty much break even on their investment. Like a lot of psychologically, it makes sense. It will create a new type of resistance out here, and then the stock will pull back. Right, that's usually what tends to happen in these specific situations. So definitely watch DWAC for that potential move. All right, so that is the stock that may explode tomorrow, maybe into Monday. Now let's do an update on, for those of y'all who watched yesterday's video. In that video, I didn't just talk about the PPI data. I also gave y'all a specific sector to pay attention to. I was very specific in that video. I told y'all to watch the semiconductors, specifically TSM, because TSM had earnings today. And I told y'all in detail that, hey, if the earnings are good, which I think they will be, right? Looking at the previous trends of how they've been doing, they've been beating earnings consistently throughout the past like 4 quarters, right? Especially the EPS. I showed you that on the NASDAQ website. It's somewhere over here. Yeah, it is here. Yes, we're gonna wait for that to load. And it loaded. All right, the numbers are not on here yet. They didn't update their website. That's fine. But I showed you this data right here, right, about the consistent trend with the EPS that is reported and how they beat the estimates. And then for the second quarter, apparently they changed it to 1.5, right? And then if you see the results for CSM, you can clearly, it's right there. They actually beat their EPS by 3.67%. All right, and they also beat their sales right here, the revenue. So the stock did pretty well, and the reaction, which is what we care about, was positive. So it was positive. It jumped all the way up to $83. Had a flash crash because the PPI data and all that. The reaction to it was kind of negative, and had to retest that 11,500 level on the NASDAQ, and then everything recovered. And then during the day, it formed a very, I don't want to say it's a clean structure. It's sort of kind of clean. It looked kind of clean at first, and then eventually it just started running, right? So it was very, very tricky right here. But eventually it made its decision. And obviously the rally with the SPY kind of helped the situation. So watch this one for a continuation to the price that I told y'all yesterday, which was, I did say $85. But I think it's going to go to $87. I think. All right, I think it's going to keep going. Let's look at the daily. The daily is a very strong hammer with volume. I like it. Yeah, I like it. Therefore, watch for another move like that. Okay, something that looks like this. That's what I expect for tomorrow. So congrats to anybody who was able to take advantage of the situation, right, and make some money on it. Now, let's talk about one stock. Somebody put down in the comment section, what are my thoughts on Pinterest? Pins. All right, now with Pinterest, I believe they put out magical unicorn news. Yeah, I see something over here about investor increasing their stake in the company. Okay. Usually when this happens, when this type of move happens, like it may just stay flat at $21 all the way through, and then there'll be a small fade because people are gonna take their money off the table. Just ask yourself if you had YOLO calls right here. Or if you bought shares and then this news instantly drop and the stock goes up by like 20%, wouldn't you want to take some money off the table? And the answer should be yeah, probably, right? And if a lot of people are thinking that way, then expect an all-day fader where it starts out at 21, maybe spikes to $22 briefly, and then just fades all day to $20. All right, so that's my very honest opinion on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button for the YouTube algorithm. As always, helps the channel a lot and allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, definitely click on subscribe and click on the notification bell along with all notifications. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. If you haven't added me on social media yet, you can find me at Paul Nguma, the PATTERNOLOGY LAB on Instagram and on Twitter. And lastly, if all of this is brand new to you, if you're interested in getting started in the stock market, there are some basic step-by-step directions in the description of the video below, step 1 to step 3. It only takes about 10 to 15 minutes for you to get signed up with all the tools you need to start trading immediately. You can also get some free stocks after signing up with Webull using the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Nguma with PATTERNOLOGY LAB, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.